You've probably heard someone say, getting older is just a part of life. And yes, while that's true, there's a hidden truth many people never hear until it's too late: not all aging is inevitable. There are parts of it we can control, slow down, and in some cases, even reverse. But here's the kicker: most people over 60 are unknowingly doing small, everyday things that speed up their decline, things so subtle that you'd never think they matter, until they do. Imagine going from feeling sharp, steady, and energetic to suddenly forgetting why you walked into a room, struggling to get up from a chair, or waking up with aches that make the day feel heavier than it should. It doesn't happen all at once, it creeps in, quietly. And I want to talk to you today about one of those creeping dangers, a kind of silent thief of your energy, your memory, and your independence. The kind of thing you can't afford to ignore, because if you do, the consequences don't just affect you. They affect your family, your relationships, and your ability to live the life you want in your golden years. Now, before you think I'm here to scare you, I'm not. I'm here to wake you up, in the gentlest way possible, so you can take back the control you didn't even know you had. If you're new here, welcome, you've landed in the right place. And if you're one of our regulars, you already know this is where we cut through the noise, ignore the hype, and talk about real solutions that actually work for real people, especially those over 60. My goal isn't to overwhelm you with medical jargon, it's to help you understand what's happening in your body in a way that makes sense, so you can make smart choices starting today. So, let's have an honest conversation. Here's something I've learned over the years from patients, friends, and even family: the dangerous part about getting older isn't just the wrinkles or the gray hair. It's the slow, quiet losses we don't notice until they're suddenly obvious. You know what I mean, that moment you realize climbing stairs leaves you winded when it never used to, or when you bend down to pick something up and suddenly feel a sharp twinge in your back. For a lot of people, these little changes are easy to brush off. Oh, it's just my age. It's normal to slow down. My memory's not what it used to be, but that's just how it goes. But here's what I've seen time and time again: those little signs are not just age. They're red flags. They're your body saying, hey, I need help. And the problem is, the longer you ignore them, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. Now, I'm about to tell you something that might surprise you: many of the issues that older adults face, from brain fog to brittle bones to weak muscles, often have a single common root: inflammation. I'm not talking about the kind of inflammation you get when you twist your ankle and it swells up. That's normal and part of healing. I'm talking about chronic, low-grade inflammation that lingers in your body day after day, quietly wearing you down. Here's why it's dangerous: you can't always feel it. You don't wake up thinking, oh, my inflammation's high today. But in the background, it's affecting your blood vessels, your joints, your nerves, even your brain cells. It's like having a tiny fire smoldering inside your body. It doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but over time, it can burn down the house. Now, you might wonder, if inflammation is so harmful, why does it seem to hit harder after 60? Well, here's the truth: as we age, our body's repair systems slow down. The cells that used to fight off damage quickly are now slower to respond. Our hormone levels change, our metabolism shifts, and even our digestion isn't quite as efficient as it used to be. Think of your body like a well-built house. When it's brand new, you can get away with skipping a few repairs here and there. But as it gets older, those little cracks in the wall, that leaky pipe, that small patch of mold, they add up. If you don't maintain it, eventually the whole structure weakens. That's why, for seniors, inflammation can be especially destructive. It's not just about the fire itself, it's about how much slower your body is at putting it out. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Margaret. She's 72, sharp-witted, loves gardening, and has the warmest smile you can imagine. When she first came to me, she said, "I'm just tired all the time. I can't do half the things I used to, and my knees hurt so much I've stopped going out with friends." Her tests showed elevated markers of inflammation, but she didn't have any big, dramatic disease. No cancer. No major infection. Just a quiet, steady erosion of her health that was stealing her life from under her nose. The sad thing? Margaret thought it was just old age. She thought this was how it had to be. But it wasn't. And it doesn't have to be for you either. The first thing I told Margaret, and the first thing I'll tell you, is this: small, intentional changes can create huge shifts in your health, even if you've been feeling lousy for years. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in a week. You just have to start with one choice, then another, and another. For Margaret, we began with something simple, changing the way she approached breakfast. I know, it sounds almost too easy. But for someone dealing with chronic inflammation, what you eat first thing in the morning can set the tone for your entire day. Instead of sugary cereals or processed bread, we swapped in anti-inflammatory foods, fresh berries, a handful of walnuts, a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe some Greek yogurt for protein. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, but within 2 weeks, she was waking up with more energy. You might be thinking, "I'll start later," or "I'm not feeling too bad yet." But here's the truth: every day you wait, the inflammation gets another 24 hours to do its work. The earlier you start, the better your odds of slowing or reversing the damage. And the beauty of it is, you don't need an expensive program, complicated supplements, or hours in the gym. You just need to understand what's happening inside your body and how to work with it instead of against it. That's what the rest of our conversation today is going to cover. Now, if we're going to take control of aging, or at least slow it down, we have to be honest about what's really happening in the body. And the truth is, it's not just time wearing you down. It's habits, it's environment, and it's the little daily choices that seem harmless in the moment but add up like compound interest, except instead of building wealth, they're robbing you of health. Inflammation is a prime example. It's sneaky. You don't see it. You don't hear it. And yet, it's working 24/7 if you let it. That's why people are shocked when their doctor says, "Your joints are degenerating," or "Your arteries are narrowing." It's not because it happened last week, it's because the slow burn's been going on for years. And here's something most people over 60 don't realize. The body doesn't stop repairing itself, it just gets less efficient at it. That means the fuel you give it, the stress you put it under, and the recovery time you allow become way more important than they were when you were 30. So, how do you know if this silent thief is at work in your body? Here are a few things I tell people to watch for. You wake up feeling stiff, and it takes a while before you can move comfortably. You notice small memory slips, forgetting a word, losing track of where you put things more often. Your energy dips in the afternoon are getting stronger and more frequent. Simple tasks like carrying groceries or climbing stairs leave you unusually winded. None of these things scream emergency on their own. But when you start stacking them together, they tell a story, and that story often ends in loss of mobility, loss of independence, and a decline in mental sharpness if nothing changes. And here's the twist: chronic inflammation isn't just about the body, it's also about the brain. The same low-grade inflammation that's wearing down your knees might also be slowing your thought process. Scientists call it neuroinflammation, and it's increasingly linked to cognitive decline, mood issues, and slower reaction times. That's why, when someone tells me, "I'm just getting forgetful because I'm older," I can't help but push back a little. Because often, it's not just age, it's inflammation that's been left unchecked. And when you address it, people are shocked at how much sharper, lighter, and more energetic they feel. When Margaret and I worked together, we didn't just focus on her knees. We focused on her whole system. That meant improving her sleep, dialing in her hydration, and making gentle but consistent movement part of her day. And I'll be honest, she was skeptical at first. She told me, "I've tried diets before. I've tried exercise. I just end up back where I started." And I said, "That's because you were trying to fix one part of the body while ignoring the rest. You can't just oil one squeaky hinge and ignore the fact that the foundation is sinking. You have to take care of the whole structure, and that means creating an environment in your body where repair is possible." If you're wondering where to start, here's what I recommend for anyone over 60 who wants to lower inflammation and feel better fast. Swap out one inflammatory food. For most people, that's sugary snacks, refined bread, or processed meats. Replace it with something fresh, colorful, and full of antioxidants. Move daily, but gently. You don't have to run a marathon. A 20-minute walk, light stretching, or water aerobics can work wonders. Prioritize sleep like it's medicine, because it is. Your body does its deepest repair while you're resting. And here's the big one. Hydrate like your life depends on it, because it does. Dehydration thickens the blood, stresses the heart, and makes inflammation worse. Most seniors I meet are chronically underhydrated and don't even know it. You might be thinking, that sounds too simple to make a difference. But here's the secret: the body is always trying to heal you. Always. Even now. It's just that sometimes, you're unknowingly throwing obstacles in its way. When you remove those obstacles, processed junk, poor sleep, constant sitting, you're not forcing the body to get better. You're letting it do what it's been trying to do all along. And the reason so many seniors see dramatic changes after making just a few of these adjustments. It's because their bodies have been waiting for a break. In just a moment, I'm going to walk you through a few very specific, science-backed strategies to reduce inflammation that most doctors don't mention, and no, they don't require a prescription or expensive supplements. That's why it's never too late to start. Waiting another year only gives inflammation another year to do damage, but starting today means you begin tipping the scale back toward healing. Here's the 10-minute ritual I promised you, the one I've seen spark some incredible turnarounds. Hydration first. Before coffee or tea, drink a full glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. Gentle movement. Spend 3 to 5 minutes stretching or walking around your space to get blood flowing. Anti-inflammatory fuel. Choose a breakfast that's high in antioxidants and protein, berries, nuts, Greek yogurt, or even a veggie omelet. Stress check-in. Take 1 minute to focus on deep, slow breathing. This signals your body to shift into repair mode. Do this consistently, and you'll be amazed at how your mornings, and your whole day, start to feel lighter. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today, it's this: aging isn't just about the years you've lived, it's about the habits you live with. And when you choose the right ones, you can reclaim strength, clarity, and joy at any age. So, here's your challenge: pick one thing from today's list and start tomorrow. Just one. Then, when you're ready, stack another on top. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've built yourself a whole new normal, one where inflammation no longer calls the shots. And if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell, because in the next video, we're diving into 5 powerful foods that fight inflammation even better than some medications, and you'll want to know exactly how to use them. So, my friends, if there's one thing I hope you take away from today, it's this: your health is not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Every small choice you make matters. And you deserve to feel strong, sharp, and full of energy no matter your age. Now, if you found even one thing in this video that could help you or someone you love, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a family member, or anyone who could use this knowledge. You might just change their life. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, because we're building a little community here, a place where seniors aren't forgotten, where your health matters, and where every week, we dig deeper into tips that can truly make a difference. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious about your health, and remember, the best is yet to come.